guys. Happy Wednesday. It's finally winter. It finally feels like winter, and that's because it is finally winter. We have winter solstice is on the 21st of December. So all of you who've been complaining it's too warm, now it's winter. And so you win. I am going to make leek and potato soup today, and partly that's because I bought some leeks last week and I didn't want to deal with them, and here I am needing to use them, and it's cold, as I said. So I'm going to start the leeks in a pot. So I've got this size of pot. This is like the 3.5 quart, and I'm going to turn that on without burning off my eyebrows. And I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of butter in this pot, okay? And I might actually cut it up a little bit so it'll go faster without cutting my fingers off. I want to do it on this board. Anyway, so while that's melting, we can talk about the other stuff. With this kind of thing, you want the leeks and the potatoes to be about the same amount, okay? And remember, the leeks are going to cook down quite a bit. This was 1 leek, cleaned and chopped. And then this is about 3 like Yukon Gold potatoes, okay? And why Yukon Gold potatoes? Well, because they hold their shape a little bit better. You can use russet potatoes and they'll fall apart more, or you can use these and you can puree it if you want it really pureed. I like the little tiny chunks, so I have it cut in like a tiny dice, like an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, okay? And in order to get them that way, the best thing to do is kind of cut them in slices, then cut them in like strips, like julienne, and then go across. And it's kind of a mess, and they kind of popped off all over the place, and the dog's not here, so he's not helping me out with that, but just it's better. So I'm gonna get these leeks into this pot with the butter, and they're still a little wet, but that's okay. And I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of salt on them to get them moving, because it helps them wilt, remember? And I'm going to get a spoon. This spoon works. And we're just going to kind of let those cook down. They'll do their thing while we talk about this leek. Now, why did it take me so long to deal with the leeks? Well, because leeks are kind of a pain to deal with. They grow them in very sandy, loose soil, like a sandy loam. The grit, they pile up the dirt around them to help blanch them, and so then the grit gets inside, okay? I have this trouble with lettuce all the time with the squirrels going through my pots. So while that's going, I'm going to show you how to deal with this leek, and I'm going to use this other one with some fish for dinner, okay? Now, you don't really use these top bits. You can use them for soup or for stock. You can put them in your stock bag if you want, but then you have to clean those too, because that's the dirtiest part. So I'm just going to put it in the compost. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about here, okay, with just a little bit of the green. Okay, so there's still a little bit in there, a little bit of the light green, and I might take that one out, the center, and use that. And so the best thing to do is just kind of go down the middle lengthwise and then chop it across in about, again, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch slices. Now, over here, I have some water. It's not all the water we're going to need, but I didn't want to run out of volume, because it's like adding cereal to milk, right? You don't do it that way. Now, you want enough water so that the grit falls to the bottom, and then we'll scoop the the leeks from the top. The leeks will float on top of the water, and we'll agitate them a little. I'll show you what I mean. So now I'm going to cut this in 2, okay? And then I'm going to cut it lengthwise, all right? And across. So we have these sort of like curly little half moons here that are about, again, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch wide. And I'm just going to put those in here and do it again with this one. This one's not as dirty as the last one. The last one I opened up and dirt flew everywhere, and that happens sometimes. And this is why I'm saying that, oh yeah, there it is. There's our dirt, a good dirty thing. So that's why, I mean, we want to change the water on these a couple times too. Okay, you see what I mean? Like on the inside, there's like dirt, like a lot of dirt. Okay, and so I'm gonna get all this together and put all that in there. I just lost a leak. Where's the dog? The dog's at the groomer. So you see how they're kind of floating on top? I'm gonna add some more water, and you just kind of, well, first I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit, okay? And then I'll drain them, rinse them again, drain them, rinse them again, and then at that point, see, this one isn't as dirty, but and then you want to be really careful. Don't pour them out over a colander, because then the last little bit, all the dirt will fall onto your stuff in the colander. I'm going to stir this a little bit. And then what? Then you have to go and wash them again. And you also want to be careful not to get that grit into your disposal, because some of it's kind of big pieces of sand, and you do not want to dull the blades on your garbage disposal. So, you know, get as much of the water out of this. So what are we going to do? After I've rinsed these a few times, I'm going to take one of these guys, one of these Chinese skimmers, and pull them out, right? Rather than pouring them through a colander, so we avoid keeping all that grit. We don't want the grit. And then maybe wipe out your vessel with like a paper towel or something and throw it away, because you really do not want those big bits of sand in your disposal. I know that's probably happened to some of you, sometimes like cleaning mussels or oysters or something. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, this is exuding its liquid nicely there, you know. And so what do we do now? Oh shoot, you know what I forgot? I'm always like, oh shoot, what did I forget? I forgot to get some wine. Let's see if I even have any. Yes, I do. Of course I do. Thank goodness, it's a screw cap. So you want something light. You want like a half a cup, okay? And I don't know if I mentioned this or not already, but like with these proportions, that's 1 leek, it's 3 potatoes, but the idea, so it's about 3 cups each. And the idea is that you want the potatoes and the leeks to be the same amount, okay? The same volume, or the same, or I did already say this, okay. So I'm gonna pour that wine in, that half a cup of wine, and we're gonna cook that down. And at this point, I have to move my string. I'm kind of stacked up in this one shelf. And then a bay leaf, okay? And we're gonna put a couple of sprigs of thyme in there. Now, if you wanna be kind of like fancy and not have little bits and bobs floating in it, you can put all this stuff in a piece of cheesecloth, or you can kind of fold it out. I have a bigger one of these, like a T-ball, that you can kind of put them in. I don't really care. I'm gonna fish it out. But if you do that, then also you can put whole peppercorns in, okay, and fish those out more easily. I'm actually, again, because I'm not trying to be fancy, I'm just trying to eat lunch. Like, I've been chained to my desk ever since I got home from New Orleans, trying to catch up on stuff, because, I mean, come on. Christmas makes it so our month is shorter, our December is shorter, so our January goes crazy. And also because everybody kind of wakes up and realizes all the things they didn't do in December. And, you know, it's kind of like August, or just like September, you know, like everybody's been out of town in August, and then they all wake up and they say, oh, I need to get on top of that. So it's me too, but I'm also doing things for other people. So here we go. Anyway, I've just been really busy. So I'm eating lunch at home. And, you know, when we eat lunch at home, we can do something better than whatever we find. I mean, I have a tendency to just eat like peanuts and stuff. So I'm going to eat a real lunch. And then the rest of these leeks are going to go on some fish later. Some fish and probably I have some nice oyster mushrooms that we'll do it with. And maybe I'll do that with you later and we can talk about that. Pepper. Back to the pepper. I'm not going to use these peppercorns. I'm just going to do this. You could also, if you wanted, you know, white pepper, is, you know, used a lot of times when you're looking for like less of the color, and I might do that. And the thing you need to watch out with white pepper on is that it's a little hotter than black pepper, so you kind of use it a little more sparingly. So I'm gonna use, like, I don't know, a little scant 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. And I'm also gonna put some marjoram in here in a little bit, but I'm gonna chop that up, okay? Marjoram, not margarine. I hope nobody ever thinks that I was saying margarine. We don't eat margarine at this house. Anyway, that's it. So the other thing, the last thing we're gonna do, or the last 2 things we're going to do, is we're gonna put in our broth. My chicken broth is hot. Why? Because it's in the freezer, and so I have to melt it in order to get it out. And I have found that when I just defrost it sitting, like the condensation causes this big puddle, and it's just easier to melt it. So I'm gonna add a quart of chicken stock. Okay, see how nice and dark that is? That's what it's like when you make your own. Okay, and then we're gonna add the potatoes. Okay. And you see they're, you know, so when you do that, it's like they're sticky because they're little. And, you know, they have the adhesive properties of water going on there. And then that's it. I'm gonna bring that up to a boil and then turn the heat down and cook it for about 20 minutes, probably more like 30 minutes, because I'm not gonna pay attention to it the first time the timer goes off, and I'm going to continue doing whatever I was doing and then deal with it. So bring it up to kind of a higher temperature to bring it up to the boil, because you know, your chicken stock might not already be hot, or you know, whatever, and then bring it back down to just a nice simmer, and it will cook down nicely for you. Now, you know, you can add other things to this, but I'm not going to today. And then, by the way, this is also how you make vichyssoise. We're not doing cold soup today. I mean, DC is usually a great place to do cold soup, because, you know, in the summer it's like, but you know, today it's cold, and they're putting on a roof next door. I can't even like imagine working outside putting on a roof right now, but you know, it's better than leaking snow into your attic. That's it. Have a wonderful day. I might come back at dinner time and show you how to deal with this fish with the leeks and the mushrooms. It's really nice. Anyway, have a great afternoon. Bye.